Keys to an indie author's success. Many authors have taken the plunge into indie publishing. The internet has allowed them to bypass traditional publishers and get their books out there, but it can be challenging to know where to start. In addition, they are often faced with the daunting task of marketing their work while still trying to write more books. This video will give you insight into what keys lead to success for indie authors so that you don't feel lost in your journey. What it means to be an indie author is a topic that has been batted around a lot lately. Some people mistakenly believe that they can just upload their books and then they will somehow find success. Failure is a real possibility if no effort is put into marketing your work, as many other writers are competing with you for readers. Write what you know, write what you love. There is a common misconception that good writers must be creative and imaginative. In fact, all you need to do is write what you know. This can mean writing about your personal experiences or even drawing from the things you learned in school. What matters most is to write what interests you and not worry too much about whether or not it's original. Many authors have been successful in this new world of publishing by focusing on what they love. To be an indie author who succeeds, you may choose to write stories that have already been proven popular by others. One way of doing this is to read books from other writers and see what type of storylines they lean toward. This will help you find your niche so that you can do well in the market while still enjoying yourself. Have a clear vision of the story you want to tell. The key to success for indie authors is often knowing what you want to tell and sticking to it. It can be tempting to start by writing whatever comes to mind, but it's important for you to create a plan before starting at all. You may find that your story changes as you go along, but having some certainty about the type of story you want to tell will keep you on the right track. Indie authors can often struggle with knowing what to write. It's easy for them to get lost in the sea of ideas and end up going nowhere fast. The key here is not to worry about where you will go or how long it will take, but instead focus on your first step down a path that may be entirely new for you. Here are 4 key steps to follow. Number 1. Create a plan for your story before you start writing. Number 2. Make sure the outline is detailed enough to give you direction without being too restrictive. Number 3. Write down any ideas that come to mind about what should happen next in your story or how it will end. Number 4. Add details from the outline as they become relevant, but don't forget to keep going back and filling in gaps. Write every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. The goal of any writer is to produce a work that will be read and enjoyed. To do so, you have to put in the time and effort to write every day. It may seem like it's not worth your time if you only spend 5 minutes on it, but those 5 minutes add up. The more often you write, the better your writing becomes, as well as improving other skills such as organization and discipline. Even though it can be difficult at first, just keep going until you get into a rhythm. You'll never regret being devoted to something that matters this much. In order to be a writer who is considered for success, it's important to be consistent in the quality of your work. This means that you need to schedule time each week for writing. Having a set schedule will help you develop good habits and discipline, which will manifest in the quality of the work that you produce. It may take time to get into a routine, but everything will feel easier and more manageable once you do. Know when it's time to take a break. The key to success is often in knowing when it's time to take a break. Burnout is a very real possibility for many writers, especially those who are striving for perfection. Going back and forth on whether or not your work is good enough can make you resent your writing before you have even finished it. It's important to remember that there are no rules for how long an indie author has to spend writing per day, but there are many benefits of taking regular breaks. One is that it allows the mind to relax and recharge so you don't feel burned out, which will keep both your creativity and output high. This applies not just during the break itself, but also right after it, so it doesn't turn into something that feels like punishment. Keep going. Make sure your book is edited well and free of typos. If you want to create a perfect final product, it is important to edit your book before the release. Editing your book will help you ensure that it is free of typos and grammatical errors so that readers are not disappointed. Writers should also focus on editing the manuscript after they have finalized it, or they may miss mistakes or typos. Remember that editing can be done by yourself or with the help of someone else. Make sure that you have an editor who will work with you for a reasonable price. Don't be afraid to share your work with others. It's common for writers to fear sharing their work with others in case they're criticized. We found that if you want honest feedback, it's important to find someone willing to share the draft you created with them. You might feel uncomfortable when they criticize your work, but this is an opportunity for you to grow and learn from the feedback. Many people are afraid of criticism because they think there will be nowhere to hide. The truth is that we all have flaws that we can't change, and having people tell us what works and what doesn't is the only way we can improve on these things. As long as we consider it and change accordingly, there shouldn't be a problem. You may want to consider using beta readers. Beta readers are people who read your manuscripts and provide feedback to help you improve. They can be instrumental in pointing out mistakes, suggesting improvements, or even just giving you an idea of what they liked or didn't like. The best thing about beta readers is that there are no hard feelings when the manuscript is rejected because it's not a final product yet. Beta readers will also give honest opinions, which can help immensely with future projects. There are many different ways to find beta readers for your work, from asking friends and family members to posting on forums, so don't hesitate to ask for help. It may take some time before someone agrees, but it'll be worth the wait if they have good things to say about your work. Put effort into marketing. To get more readers for your work, you need to market it. As an indie author, you need a professional-looking website or blog where readers can find out more about your work. This is also a way for people to purchase your books. A website dedicated to promoting your work can also be a place where you post new content and connect with other writers. You should also consider social media websites like Twitter or Facebook, which allow you to reach a wide user base. You may want to use hashtags when posting so that others in your field will see your posts and follow you on social media sites at the same time. This is an important step in gaining popularity as an indie author because it increases people's chances to find your work online. Writing a book is the first step. Marketing is the next. As an indie author, you have to be committed to putting in the effort and taking advantage of all opportunities available to help reach a wider audience. Don't sit back on your laurels because no one knows about you. Make sure that others do through your hard work. Never give up. The final key to success for writing is the ability to keep going even when everything else seems hard and unappealing. Indie authors may want nothing more than a new topic or different type of book, but continuing with what they've started will only help them in the long run. It's important to remind yourself that you are the only one who can finish what you started, especially if this is your first time writing a book. Writing may not always be fun, but it's important to remember why you wanted to do it in the first place. If something about it made an impact on your life or brought light into dark times, then it's worth pushing through and finding out how your story ends. Good luck! We hope this video has helped you to learn more about how indie authors can be successful. Being an author is not easy, but it's definitely worth the effort put into it if you truly love writing. Indie authors are committed to their craft and will do whatever they need to do to succeed, just like any other career. Take advantage of all opportunities available to you and make a name for yourself as an indie author. Good luck on your journey, writers. We hope you enjoyed this video on Keys to an Indie Author's Success. Please like and subscribe to our channel so we can continue to provide you with quality content for indie authors. Drop us a comment below on what kind of topics you'd like us to cover. Get more high-quality content over on our website at indieauthorresources.com.